Good morning, Black America. Grand Rising, beloved. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and I'm here to turn digital sense into generational sense. There's a story moving through the crypto world right now that tells us something important about money, trust, and accountability. A pastor, a crypto platform, and more than $220 million that disappeared. But the real lesson in the story isn't just about fraud. It's about how trust works inside communities and why verification matters more than ever. The man at the center of this case is Eddy Alexandre, the founder of a crypto and Forex investment platform called EminiFX. Now, some people online have been calling him a Black American pastor. Let me be clear about something. He was a Haitian-American pastor who operated inside Seventh-day Adventist church circles while promoting what he claimed was a powerful automated trading system, and thousands of people believed him. Alexandre promised investors something that always sounds good when money is tight. 5% weekly returns, 5% every week. That's the kind of promise that spreads quickly when people are trying to build wealth, especially when the person making the promise stands in front of you as both a pastor and someone connected to a church community. And in this case, much of the recruiting reportedly happened through Seventh-day Adventist networks and gathering. Here's the first lesson. Just because someone stands behind a pulpit does not mean they should be trusted with your portfolio. Faith is one thing, finance is another. And if somebody is promising guaranteed returns in crypto, Forex, or any investment, that should be the first red flag. Federal prosecutors say EminiFX platform raised more than $220 million from thousands of investors. But according to investigators, the trading system that was supposed to generate those returns did not exist the way the investors were told. Much of the money simply moved through the system while investors were shown what looked like profits on screen. This is where the legal side of the story gets interesting, because the case didn't just involve the pastor himself. Some investors tried to bring RICO claims into the case. RICO stands for Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization Act. That law is used when prosecutors believe an entire organization, not just one person, was operating as a criminal enterprise. In this case, some lawsuits attempted to connect Seventh-day Adventist church institutions to the scheme. But a federal judge dismissed the RICO claims against those church organizations, meaning the evidence did not support treating those institutions as part of a criminal enterprise. So legally, the case stayed focused on the individual running the operation, not the church institutions themselves. Now watch this closely, because the real lesson in this story actually says something powerful about crypto itself. When people hear about fraud cases like this, the first reaction is often the same. They say crypto is dangerous, but here's something most people don't realize. Crypto actually leaves a trail. Every transaction on a blockchain records wallet addresses, timestamps, transaction flows, and that information lives on a public ledger, which means large financial movements don't just disappear. They leave evidence, and investigators can follow that evidence. That's one reason law enforcement has been able to track billions of dollars in crypto fraud over the past several years. Because the blockchain records everything. You might not know the name behind a wallet immediately, but the movement of funds is there for anyone to study, and eventually those trails connect to real people. This is something I want our community to understand clearly. Crypto itself isn't the scam. The scam is human behavior. When somebody promises guaranteed returns, when somebody says they have a secret system, when somebody tells you money will grow every week with no risk, that's not investing. That's somebody asking you to trust them with your money instead of verifying the opportunity. And in the digital age, verification is easier than ever. So here's what we should be watching next. Regulators and courts are still shaping how crypto fraud cases are prosecuted. And one of the biggest shifts happening right now is transparency, because blockchain technology records transactions permanently. Financial crimes tied to digital assets are increasing, leaving a trail investigators can follow. The system always leaves clues, y'all. Take care, loved ones. I'm Crypto Stock Markets, and I'll get up with y'all tomorrow.